Pizza Hut is famous for putting cheese directly into their crusts. But there's something else in those crusts you might not be aware of: plastic. Former employees have divulged that Pizza Hut no longer makes its dough fresh in the store. Instead, it's delivered frozen and is already shaped for the pan. And this has been going on for some time, as a Reddit post from 13 years ago revealed. One former employee stated, "I worked at a Pizza Hut back in the early 90s. We used to make all the dough fresh every day, including actually tossing the hand-tossed dough. I was there when they made the switch to the frozen stuff." Another former employee on Reddit explained how the dough used to be made, saying, "I started at a hut in northern Illinois in 1986 through 89. We all made the dough daily, from pre-mixed flour that we added oil and water to and mixed in a Hobart. But that reportedly changed around 2007, and it hasn't gotten better over the years. Recently, a former employee explained on TikTok, a truck brings it in big boxes, and they're all frozen. And they're really cool discs that you can break really easily. They don't make it fresh. What you're eating is frozen dough. That's difficult enough to swallow, but it's far from the only food at Pizza Hut that comes frozen." Former employees have revealed that Pizza Hut's brownies are not made in-house either. Rather, they are delivered to the restaurants pre-cooked in tins. The conveyor belts that send the pizzas through the ovens are also used to heat the tins of brownies. According to one Redditor, they're frozen in the tinfoil pans. "At my location, we put them in a pan and cover it, and their pasta and breadsticks also both come pre-made and pre-frozen. The pasta noodles are not even boiled on site. Instead, the pasta dishes arrive prepared with the noodles cooked and mixed with the sauce frozen in foil trays, and the breadstick dough comes frozen before being baked on site." One employee wrote, "Fun fact, the dough actually comes frozen, and at the end of the night, one of the job duties is to oil the pans and put the frozen breadstick dough in with it. As the dough defrosts and rises overnight, it soaks up all the oil." To speed up the pizza-making process in its restaurants, Pizza Hut buys pre-shredded cheese from Leprino Foods, which produces 1 billion pounds of cheese annually and is a major supplier of cheese in the pizza industry. Pizza Hut's partnership with Leprino Foods goes all the way back to 1968. In fact, Pizza Hut was one of the first chains to begin using shredded cheese on pizzas, as opposed to cheese slices. However, rather than get its cheese in a block form and shred it at the store, today Pizza Hut buys pre-shredded cheese. Although shredded cheese offers convenience and melts more evenly than slices of cheese, there are issues with using it on pizzas. For one thing, it contains substances like cellulose powder, aka sawdust, to keep it from reforming into one big clump of solid cheese. Cellulose powder isn't a toxic substance, but it can lead to gas and bloating. It can also cause the cheese to melt less smoothly. If you're making a pizza at home, experts recommend freshly grating a block of cheese rather than buying pre-shredded bags like Pizza Hut does. Pizza Hut began offering its famous pan pizza in 1980. Fans loved the golden brown, thick crust, which, similar to focaccia bread, was soft on the inside and crispy on the bottom. For many years, the pan pizza recipe remained the same at Pizza Hut. But in 2019, the company made a big change. In a press statement, Pizza Hut announced a revamping of the original 1980 pan pizza recipe. With new pans and a new blend of cheese and sauce, Pizza Hut claimed to have improved the classic. Penny Shaheen, Senior Director of Culinary Innovation and Strategy, said, "We've put a lot of energy and love into refining this beloved pizza and are eager for customers to taste the unbelievable difference firsthand." However, the reception for the new recipe didn't go over as well as Pizza Hut may have hoped. One customer on Reddit complained the pan pizza was no longer as thick. A former employee responded that this can happen when employees make mistakes in prepping the dough, saying, "Either they accidentally put hand-tossed frozen dough in the pan pizza pan, or they let it sit in the fridge for too many days and it got puffy." Pizza Hut offers a gluten-free crust at many of its locations. The pizza chain has a partnership with Udi's and uses the company's certified gluten-free crust for the pizzas. However, people with celiac disease or gluten allergies may want to steer clear of Pizza Hut's gluten-free pizzas. Although Udi's crust is certified as gluten-free, Pizza Hut won't guarantee that pizzas made with gluten-free crust aren't cross-contaminated with other gluten-containing menu items. Pizza Hut has detailed disclaimers on its website, reading in part, "Pizza Hut kitchens are not gluten-free environments. We cannot assure you that our restaurant environment or any menu item will be free of gluten. We recommend that you consult your medical advisor as to what is safe for you." For some people with severe allergies, even ingesting a small amount from cross-contamination can cause a reaction. A restaurant would have to take many steps to avoid cross-contamination, including careful training of employees, something that Pizza Hut has chosen not to do.
It's very important that you have a separate station that's designated your gluten-free topping area.
Pizza Hut offers a large selection of vegetable toppings on its pizzas, including mushrooms, onions, bell peppers, Roma tomatoes, and even pineapple. However, gone are the days when Pizza Hut franchises bought fresh produce from local farmers and sliced them in the store to top the pizzas. Buying veggies pre-sliced greatly reduces the amount of time it takes to prep the pizzas. So these days, when you order a dish from Pizza Hut, you are getting toppings that have been pre-sliced, bagged, and delivered on a truck. One former employee on Reddit described the process of how the corporate offices required franchises to switch to approved suppliers. This meant employees were no longer slicing fresh produce for the pizzas in the kitchen, but getting their toppings delivered already sliced. The poster stated, "While we were still using fresh veggies, they came in plastic bags, whereas before, we would literally order green peppers, mushrooms, onions, etc. from local vendors and cut/chop them ourselves." A recent investigation from Consumer Reports uncovered a shocking amount of plasticizers are being consumed by Americans. Plasticizers are synthetic chemicals used to make plastic. They end up seeping into food from the plastic containers our food is stored in. These plastics can also enter food during processing. Phthalates are a type of plasticizer that may cause health problems when consumed. Studies have linked the substance to various health problems, including insulin resistance and reproductive issues. One recent study linked exposure to phthalates in childhood with an increased risk of bone cancer later in life, while another study found prenatal exposure may increase a child's risk of attention problems. Before you panic too much, though, we simply don't know enough about the effects of the substance to be able to come up with safe levels that would be acceptable in food. What we do know, however, is that while a recent Consumer Reports study did find phthalates in Pizza Hut's original pan pizza served in a cardboard box, the amount was actually lower than any of the other fast food options they sampled. So you may be eating plastic, but at least we know which chain is most likely to win the upcoming franchise war.
Your tone is quasi-facetious, but you do not realize that Pizza Hut was the only restaurant to survive the franchise wars.
Tertiary butylhydroquinone, or TBHQ, is a controversial food additive linked to many health problems. TBHQ is used to extend the shelf life of food. It can be found in processed foods, and the FDA has a limit on how much TBHQ in foods is allowed. Various research on TBHQ has disturbing findings, including a study by the Centers for Science and the Public Interest, which linked TBHQ to tumors in rats. Other studies have linked TBHQ to a host of health issues, including ADHD, immunity problems, asthma, and allergic reactions. Experts recommend children with ADHD avoid eating products that contain TBHQ. You can find out if a food contains TBHQ by looking at the ingredients list, and Pizza Hut's ingredient statement shows TBHQ is lurking in many of its foods, including chicken wings, hand-tossed crust, pan pizza crust, breadsticks, and even the oil used to cook the pizzas. Pizza Hut has the distinction of being not only the first company to sell pizza over the internet, but also the first physical food ever purchased online. In 1994, Pizza Hut introduced PizzaNet. The very first person to ever order a pizza online requested a large pepperoni and mushroom pizza with extra cheese on their dial-up connection. Today, Pizza Hut has a delivery app for customers to conveniently place orders online and receive their pizzas. But although the brand has had many years to get it right, Pizza Hut gets many complaints on ordering from both its website and its app, especially regarding double or even triple charges. Perhaps most irritating of all, one app user posted on Reddit that they got a triple payment notification from their bank for an order that Pizza Hut never even received. Sounds almost like the work of notorious interstellar gangster Pizza the Hut.
Where's my money?
Don't worry, Pizza. You'll have it by next week.
No, I gotta have it by tomorrow.
It may seem like magic when you bite into Pizza Hut's stuffed pizza crust and reach all that gooey mozzarella cheese, but the process for getting the cheese into the crust is very simple. Former employees have revealed the secret to making the crust on Reddit, with one poster saying the cheese Pizza Hut stuffs into the crust is just simple string cheese. End of story. Nothing glamorous, just simple beauty. If you'd like to try making stuffed crust pizza at home, simply place string cheese over the dough at the edge of the pan. Fold the dough over the string cheese, press it down firmly, and bake your pizza. Boom! You've just made a stuffed crust pizza, and without the hassle of trying to use the Pizza Hut app.